All right, we're at 11 a.m. and good morning to our audience of Licata Live viewers. My name is David Macpherson with Licata Group here in Locust Grove, and we have a special guest joining us today. His name is Grant Macpherson, and he is with JK Moving Services, and he is joining us. He's out doing his daily job of consulting with clients and working on getting people safely and securely moved. He's up in Alexandria at the moment, and he's joining us from there. Hi, Grant.
Good morning, everyone.
Um, Grant, tell us a little bit about the history of JK Moving and how things all started. And also, I think it's interesting the fact that JK has made a specialty of working with a lot of different realtors.
Yeah, sure. So you would probably know more about JK than me, but I've been here as 13 years now, and it started with Chuck or Charles Kuhn, Fairfax, Virginia, in his mom and dad's basement. He bought one truck and slowly progressed, and now we just celebrated our 40th year anniversary. But from those humble beginnings of one, two trucks to now the largest independent or family-owned moving company in the country, it's been quite the ride. So this Northern Virginia and Virginia and Maryland area has been very busy over the years for moving. So very good location to be in for JK to grow over the years. But now we've grown into a worldwide mover due to your things. So now we move people everywhere in the world and domestically. And so anybody who's planning to move from Texas to Lake of the Woods or Lake of the Woods to Texas, we can assist with those types of moves as well.
Yeah. And you do get a lot of referrals from realtors, and you actually, as the team at JK, you do put a bit of effort into working with the real estate industry, which is a little different from a lot of movers and realtors don't always get along quite as well.
No, but JK is such a solid company that real estate agents trust us, right? They don't want to put their reputation on the line typically with moving companies because people hear about horror stories. But JK has drug tested all of their employees, background checked all their employees, trained everybody. I mean, the average tenure of our employees is much higher than most companies in our industry, to say that. And everyone is invested in the company. Our owner has profit sharing for everybody. So we all feel like we're part of the company, and that puts forth good effort. And real estate agents, they know when they refer us out that they don't need to worry or get that phone call that something's going to happen. So that's been one of our major, I guess you call it, referral sources, because real estate agents know when people are moving before we do. So building relationships and maintaining relationships with real estate agents is very important, and it has been an influential partnership and growth for our company.
Yeah. And I will say this for the Licata group that we like to make sure when we refer anybody, any service supplier, whether it's the title company, whether it's a contractor to come out and power wash or do paint or stuff like that, we always want to make sure that those contractors, those referral partners, are helping us achieve 5-star service and 5-star Google reviews. So we appreciate it
Right.
when we've got a good partner in the moving side that we know we can rely on that will help us get there. So that's really great. Um, let's talk a little bit about maybe just the last couple of years. I mean, we've gone through some ups and downs with health issues across the country, across the world, and so on. And you know, moving companies like JK and realtors obviously work very closely hand in hand with people and have workers, drivers, helpers, and stuff in people's homes and so on. And I know that you guys did some things back at the beginning, which don't need to do right now today, but I think it's important for people to understand that JK stepped up and did a lot of things to keep everybody safe.
Yeah. COVID was interesting. It hit hard, and nobody really knew where we were going to go and how it was going to play out. But about a couple months after everybody shut down, we really started to see a crazy demand. everyone was kind of trying to figure out where they wanted to be in life, or they were given an opportunity to work from home, and that's panned now. Even to this day, I still meet with clients that are moving for more personal reasons than it used to be corporate reasons, where they were being told to move to California because the job was there. Now they're moving to Colorado because they want more of an active lifestyle, and they want to live there. So people have, over the past 2 years, they've done a mass migration in this country, and it's they're moving closer to family, they're moving closer to the beaches, closer to the weather, whatever they are choosing to do now, because this experiment of working from home worked for most companies, and they're going to continue that. Now we're seeing at a lot of the major corporations, they're letting people do this hybrid lifestyle if they choose. So we've seen a lot of demand. The past 2 years, it's been actually crazy how many people have decided to move. It's been tough to keep up with that demand, but it's been great for our industry, and most other home service industries have been very busy building decks and pools and things. Everyone's stuck at home, so the home was the castle was the most important place. So people were trying to find the right home, and then we were helping move to those right homes. But over those years, right before COVID, we started investing into multiple technologies. One of them was a virtual survey. So we have three options for customers. We can go into the home if they're local in the DMV area and tour their house and meet with them face to face and go room by room. The secondary option for people, especially during COVID, if they didn't want people in their house, was the virtual survey, where the customer, very similar to people FaceTiming their family, they walk around the house and we chat, and we go room by room, and they show us the items that they're planning to move, and then we kind of go back and record it and figure out what the cost will be. The third option is a newer technology that is growing and growing and growing for us. Is we call it the JK Self Survey, which is artificial intelligence. So what we do is we send the customer a text message link or an email link. They click the link, it opens up a web browser on their phone, no apps needed, and then basically they can click the living room or the dining room or whatever room it is, and they kind of take their phone and scan the room. They can discuss, or they can just take the video, and it then has an artificial intelligence program that goes back and calculates what those items are. And then my job and others at the company is to make sure that the AI is doing its job correctly, and then we can figure out an estimate. But the nice thing about that tool is if it's not a lot of stuff people are moving, then for them to block time in their day to have someone out house and wait around all day, it's eliminated. They can do it, before they go to bed, or they can do it in the middle of the night. So it frees up the customer's time, which is obviously important for many people. So there's three ways that we've been implementing technology in our way of surveying to get the customer the most accurate pricing we can, and for us to logistically see exactly what it is to be moved.
Yeah, it's really, I think a lot of people, even older folks like myself, just have learned to adjust a lot to the new technology. Everybody wanted to stay in touch with their grandkids or their great grandkids, and they had to learn how to use. We're using two technologies. We're using FaceTime live video today, but we're also using Google Meeting to be able to share screen and have you patched in from Alexandria and me in Locust Grove. Everybody's learned it now, and it's really quite remarkable that some folks are just as good as the kids and stuff like that. I'd like to just
made it very simple.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, if you can take a picture, or if you can shoot, a couple of minutes video, which pretty much everybody can do on their phones these days, you can achieve, you can get your service contract set up, digitally signed.
Yeah.
We digitally sign so much now with clients. There's still a few things that the law in different states hasn't caught up with yet, and we need to have a wet signature. But for the most part, we're able to do just about everything digitally, even with clients that are on vacation in another country or wherever. I wanted to, right now, I think the biggest thing on everyone's mind is what's been happening with the economy, and we know that the Federal Reserve is trying to get us back away from having this huge amount of inflation going on. And it's definitely having some impacts, some negative impacts in the real estate industry. I don't know if it's having those in the moving industry yet, but it may be a trickle down thing that once homes are sitting on the market a bit longer and people are not able to move as fast as they were, it might create a little bit of an impact. But I think for us, because a lot of our clients are private individuals, not corporate, they may be retiring, there may be in estate sales and so on like that. The one thing is, how can people keep down their costs in today's environment? What you got any tips for people on things that they can do to not have to spend money moving stuff and then find out that they get there and then they want to have a garage sale after they paid to move it?
Yep, that happens often. But yeah, to the first question, we're right behind the real estate market typically. So the people that I'll be meeting with today that are going to be moving are going to be moving once they sell their house. So they're meeting with me, and then maybe in November or December is when they'll be moving. So they're budgeting, they're planning ahead. We always see a slowdown after the summer season, we call it, right? From when schools are out to when schools get back in. That's very busy moving time for military, PCS shipments, corporate moves, and families moving with kids. They're not going to uproot their family, now in the middle of a school year to move them across the country, or even out of the school district. Typically, they'll wait until the middle of the year or the summertime. So it normally slows down a little bit at this time of the year anyway, but we don't know what the market right now, what that will end up doing. We're trying to forecast it, but we're waiting for your guys' expertise because you'll know more than we do on what's happening. So that we're hoping doesn't affect us too much. But for people moving in the future, the best things you can do is sell, donate, or just get rid of things that you don't want, right? People call me all the time, Grant, we had a wonderful move with you, everything was great, but we're getting rid of this sofa or chair on the other end because it doesn't fit or doesn't work or whatever. So that's kind of just, you move something to move it now and you're wasting money by moving it. So getting rid of things, sorting through things is a big thing. It's a hard thing to do, but there are other companies that help people, if you're older in life, that can help you go through stuff and weed through and help you figure out what you need. If you wait until the moving company comes, they're going to pack it all and they're going to move it all. So it's good to make sure that you get rid of that stuff in advance. That way it doesn't get moved and then have to get disposed of on the other end. Other cost-saving things people can do is packing, right? A lot of people, if they're familiar with military moving or corporate moving and they've never done it on their own, they've always had the luxury of packing was included. Well, it doesn't have to be if you want to do your own packing, right? You can save quite a bit of money by boxing your own items. You do take your own liability when you do that, but if you do it well and you do it safe, we move the boxes just as safe as we would if there are boxes, but that's a big cost, right? That can save customers thousands of dollars if they choose to pack up items on their own. The moving of the stuff won't change much unless things just don't go. But those are major things. There's other little tidbits I tell people depending on where they're going. If they're just going from, let's say, Alexander to Fredericksburg, right? That's not a far distance. They could save quite a bit of money by taking all their picture frames off the walls and putting that in the car instead of, that could be $1,000 to pack up pictures and we have to cut those boxes. So there's various things, but it just depends on the customer's needs and wants and where they want to go. But that's one of the things that my job, especially, and others at JK, we try to look at when we meet with people and figure out, what best suits them. Where's their time spent? Are they retired? And maybe they have more time to do packing. But if it's a family with kids, and they may not have time to do anything, and they need the help with everything. So everybody's stage in life kind of dictates what kind of services they might need.
Yeah, I also, from my years of being in the moving industry, would always keep people, don't think that you can control the movers on moving day.
No.
If you try to and you overly sort of follow them from room to room and stop them every 2 seconds, and if you're paying for an hourly move on a local rate basis, it's costing you a fortune, and it's frustrating for everybody. So be prepared, and don't just sit back and think that you can continue on with your job while they're packing or moving your house. You do have to
Right.
have some interaction. You got to be available to them, but you just have to make, even though you've hired the best and they're going to do a great job, you still have a role to play in the move, and not
Yes.
interrupting them, but also being available to help and answer questions is also very important.
Yeah, the more organized a customer can be, the easier it is for them, but the easier it is for us, right? If some people will go around their home and they'll set up little ledgers with, room number one is the kitchen, so every box with the number one they've labeled goes there, or they do color coded systems where they put red dots on boxes, and red dots mean master bedroom, or so people will do different ledgers or systems that we'll follow, and that helps alleviate a lot of questions, right? If it's a single person and they don't have a spouse to help them and stuff, the less questions that they can get asked from a crew of 5 people, the less overwhelming it gets, because moving is it's right up there with one of the most stressful times in people's lives. So anything you can do to alleviate that stress and anxiety of a move, being more organized, and having that kind of idea of where things go, and how things are going to be placed, it'll help.
Great, great. Well, listen, Grant, we normally keep these to around about 10 or 15 minutes. We're right at the 15-minute mark today, and I really appreciate you joining your old man for a little while here and talking about this stuff. Maybe finish with something about, again, about what's going on. I mean, I know JK's always maintained very new and late model trucks and stuff like that. Is there anything? I mean, it must be quite hard just now. We hear everybody trying to buy cars, can't get them, and chip problems, and in the moving industry, you've got blankets and other things. Even cardboard has become very expensive, and it might be hard. Is your position stronger than others, or what's happening there?
So trucks, we've forecasted it. We pre-order those. Chuck has bought those in advance. Even years and years ago, we pre-ordered, I think, about 10 of the Tesla semi trucks to see where that may go with
Yeah,
autonomous driving down
yeah.
the road. But Elon Musk has not delivered those yet, so we don't know what they're like. But as far as normal commodity things, paper and tape, and they've all seen an increase just like we have at the stores. The major thing that is still affecting us, and it has started to slow down for more consumers at the pump, is gas. Our diesel gas prices are still very high, and they went up over the past couple of years. So that is a cost that the federal government on interstate moving charges. They call it an interstate fuel surcharge, as well as an intrastate fuel surcharge. So those are things that they get taxes on, but it's higher than it ever has been. So that is a big expense that hopefully, if diesel can continue to go down, we'll see those numbers go down. Crating costs, when people had high value items, statues and oil paintings, the lumber, we saw a big spike in that multiple times. That's starting to balance out. So most of that's fine. And labor, if anyone has family members or friends that would be interested in moving, tractor trailer drivers are high demand. Chuck Kuhn has been in the news all over the country, and our sign-on bonus, they're over $100,000 for tractor trailer drivers as an annual salary plus. So we're doing everything we can to stay on top of our competitors that are taking tractor trailer drivers, Amazon and Walmart and such. But yeah, we're doing what we can to stay in front of everybody.
Great, great. Well, again, we thank JK for serving our clients and taking care of them and helping us, and we really appreciate the relationship with you guys. This was great, great father son time as well as supplier time. We'll get you back in another quarter or two, maybe around the
Sure.
springtime when it's ready for people getting ready to move spring going into the summer. But thanks again for joining us. And if anybody would like more information on Grant specifically and JK Moving, they can reach out to us here, Jasmine at the Licata Group, and myself and the rest of the team, and we will put them in touch with you. Thanks very
And
much. Yeah.
Just in case anybody does, I would say estimates are no obligation and free. So if you are considering moving, it doesn't hurt to get more than one quote, right? That way you can compare and see what the cost may be. So there's no obligation, no cost, free estimates.
Absolutely. Great. Okay, Grant. Well, many thanks, and we'll see you soon. Take
I'll
care.
sign off now. Bye.
Bye.